Hey music fans! As a roadie, I had this great opportunity to tour with all these bands. I wrote a book about my experiences on the road, and it was the #1 new release on Amazon and Bios, and it's now sold millions of copies on Kindle. I'm Joel Roadie, and this is my podcast, Party Like a Rock Star. You've heard of Lovebites. We did a Lovebites video last year.
Yes, sir.
And, they just released a new video. I think it's really something wonderful, so I'd love to show it to you if you got a few
I'd
more.
love to see it.
Okay, cool. Let's do that one. All right, we're back with my next series of road dogs and rock gods. You guys asked me to keep doing these, or to start doing them again, rather. It's just they're a bit of work, but I'm gonna. So I brought back what a lot of you find is your favorite person who came on, Mr. Rocko Reedy. Rocko is a really good pal of mine. I talk to him regularly. He's very opinionated. So we'll see if he likes these newest releases that we played him. If you don't know who Rocko is, here's a little bit of his resume. Rocko Reedy has worked as a tech, a stage manager, a production manager, and as a rigger. He's toured with STYX, Kansas, Cheap Trick, REO Speedwagon, Loverboy, Robin Trower, Bryan Adams, John Mellencamp, Aerosmith, Bon Jovi, The Scorpions, Kiss, MC Hammer, Def Leppard, Eric Clapton, U2 for 30 years, Journey, Nine Inch Nails, Heart, Madonna, Smashing Pumpkins, Marilyn Manson, and even more. but that's a good start, right? It's a good start to an awesome career. We'll have to see what he has to say about our bands. Rocko likes to do videos himself. He sings and he plays like a lot of the people who come on the podcast as a road personnel. He doesn't like being called a roadie, but he sings and he plays, and he's been editing and making his own videos lately, so I encourage you guys to go check him out. Rocko loves making them. It gives him something to do, and they're fun to watch, of course. I do want to let you guys know I have released my second book. It's called XEMU Pulled My Finger. It is available on Amazon. You guys can check it out if you wanna. There's a link underneath in the description that will send you to Amazon to check the book out as either a hardcover, softcover, audiobook, or as a Kindle, just like MEMOIR or Roadie. I do want to throw a shout out, a thank you before we start, to the people at Surfside Supply. They've been sending me some awesome clothes. This is one of them. I really enjoy wearing their clothes. I think they're really great stuff. I've been wearing it all over the place and I get compliments. So thank you, people at Surfside Supply, for really making great clothing. It's really good stuff, so I like it. All right, let's jump into this and let's see what Rocko Reedy has to say about your favorite band. All right, we just watched Mission Souls, and it's such great stuff. It was wonderful. We saw some Journey. This is a new song that was released here. It's called The Castaway. It is by Lovebites. You're familiar with Lovebites, Rocko, because we checked out their video last year.
Yeah.
And you liked them, so I think they're
Ladies
great.
and girls, yeah.
Yeah, they're wonderful, and I think this video is a step. It's a step forward in production value for them for sure. With a couple exceptions, they did a track called Judgment Day that I thought had great value. But anyway, this one is really cool. I think the song's really cool. Wanted to see what you think, and we can go.
Quick question before you start playing it.
Yep.
Now, have they got a good following going in Japan or in Asia?
Yeah.
So they play arenas, or are they playing? Because I know they came over here and were playing clubs because they hadn't developed a following yet. And I was just wondering. Yeah.
No, they're pretty well known there. I mean, they did hire Chad Oleg, so that if they could do better, I mean, there's opportunity. People are like, Chad Oleg's a roadie friend. He's been on here a lot of times. He's a sound guy, tour manager. So anyway.
What's funny is I got a phone call from the promoter in Japan asking me if I would be available because they saw our review of their stuff and they wanted to know if I'd be interested in doing it. I said, God, I'd love to. When is it? And I was busy at the time, so I couldn't. So I called Chad and recommended him for the job. He never did call me.
Of course, he wasn't busy. Of course,
he wasn't. What?
But he was available.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I'm being bad. This is one of my best friends, guys, or our best friend. He's a great guy. So.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, let's jump into The Castaway. You can let me know or us know what you think. But yes, to answer your question before we do it is, I would say I mean, I don't live in Japan either, but I would say they're popular, especially if you like metal. I would think that they would be pretty well known, but
Well,
maybe
and
some
that's the thing
guys
that
would tell
impressed me about them is they were such, forceful Metallica style heavy metal players, but with good melody lines going on in it. But they're also gorgeous. I mean, it's like picture Metallica divided by Spice Girls, but they're just it's and nothing against any beautiful people, but for to be beautiful and talented was a good combination. And I think
that'd
that
be a
they're
great song name, The
yeah, I think
Beautiful
with the
People.
right exposure, with the right videos, they could go far. They could go real far.
I think this is a good start. So,
Let's find
yeah,
out.
we could write a track together called The Beautiful People. One of your very
Ah,
favorite artists,
been
I
done.
think. One of your
Been there,
favorite
done
people
that
in the
tour,
world.
got the t-shirts. No thanks.
You sure? I heard you love that guy. All right, let's jump into some love bites.
Okay.
Remember to breathe.
Yep. I love the song. Don't like the video.
What?
Sorry.
Why? What's wrong with the video?
I would rather see them playing because they're amazing players, and they kept going to shots that almost looked black and white of this ship, and I didn't get the correlation. You know,
Well, they're a Castaway.
I'm just telling you, this is my honest opinion of it. I love this band. I love the song. Their shredding was unbelievable, but I wanted to watch them. I wanted to watch them playing, and they would cut to them and then cut away. That's to me, but I understand why they did it too, because guys love watching them play. Girls don't care. They want to see the artsy end. They want to see the beautiful dresses. They want to see the costumes and all the rest of that stuff. The girls don't care that she was playing a Dean guitar. Whereas I looked at that and I was like, yeah, a Dean guitar, And,
Yeah.
but to each their own and to their thing. And I wanted to love it, but the other thing that, and this is my personal choices and preference as well, but I recommend it to every young band that I've worked with, is that Hit It and Quit It is a better way to go. That song was 6 minutes, 24 seconds long.
Yeah.
That's kind of long.
I like long songs, but I feel you.
Yeah. But for example, I just redid a Yungblud song called Hello, Heaven, Hello. And
Okay.
he released that's off his latest Idols record, which was released like 6 months ago, something like that. And
Okay.
I wanted, because I always do 50-year-old songs, so I wanted to do something new. So I took that song, but I listened to it, and it was the first single he did off of there, and it was 9 minutes long. And 9 minutes is the kiss of death for radio airplay. They won't play a song that long. Just simple as that. So I took that song, and I do this a lot with the cover songs that I do, and I cut it down to 4 minutes and 20 seconds.
Okay. Is that because you're a stoner?
Yeah.
Okay.
420 is the magic number, But it also
I see what you did there.
But it gets to the point. And the other thing is it leaves them wanting more. At the end of that video, I was like, okay, that was great, but I'm done. I didn't feel like going back and watching that boat again.
So to counter you, in my thoughts, isn't that what a live video or a live performance would be for? Then you can watch whatever you want.
Yeah, but I just felt that constant boat shot was not that exciting.
See, I thought the boat looked cool.
Okay,
but I've never seen them do a video with production before. Even that Judgment Day video, which I liked a lot, doesn't have this crazy budget anyway. They don't have it. They don't have the money. So
yeah. Well, okay. I won't get into it now, but after you look at my video,
right,
see what I did in there for the cost of nothing.
Okay.
I shot it on the rooftop of a 30-story building in downtown Columbus.
Okay. Well, fly these ladies to Columbus, Rocko, and then they can shoot a cool video for you.
I'll fly there with my drone guy. See, that's the other thing too, is that obviously was just a production piece, an AI created boat. It's not like they were out.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so, they don't have a need for huge production value there. The video that we reviewed of theirs was their live show, and their live production was exciting as hell.
It's great. They're really
perfect
fantastic on stage.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the whole thing, is I wanted to see performance, whereas they were standing on the deck of this black and white ship, and they weren't moving around. And I understand why, because they did
music video.
Yeah. But it's just, and it's just personal preference, as I say. And I really love this band. That's the whole reason that, I have to be critical about it, because I want to see them excel. I want to see them play in arenas when they come to the U.S. But, it takes time and it takes effort. And your only vehicle for that right now is videos like this.
It's true.
So, but then again, I don't buy records. So.
Well, you said radio play. I don't know how much it matters, man. I mean, there's a lot of other avenues now, like YouTube, where through the radio stations. So, and I don't know if they get radio play in Japan or not. I don't know. I really don't know. So,
well, actually, I think radio is much more prevalent as far as a medium for which to promote your music over there than it is here. People nowadays only listen to the radio while they're in their car for the most part. And 9 times out of 10, they're listening to podcasts where people are just talking.
Yep. Yeah, no, it's changed dramatically. So
yeah.
All right, I'm going to try and ask you a question that I hopefully haven't asked you already.
Okay.
I did my deep research
Where
on the
did
last
babies
video.
come from?
Asking the same stuff over and over again. But so this one, I had friends of yours, I'm sure, Chris Adamson and Richard Fernandez come on the podcast, right? And this is when I was doing interviews, and I asked them, their resumes are insane, right? What band would you like to see one more time? You had one more show to go to. And Chris got very emotional about it, actually. And they both had the same answer. I don't know. You know them. I'll tell you. But who do you think they chose? And then who would you choose?
Pink Floyd.
So Chris is Pink Floyd, right? But Richard.
Right. Yeah. That's why I would have said that.
Yeah, Tom Petty.
Ah, okay. I get that as well, because he also worked with Tom Petty.
Yeah, for like 30 years. But it was Tom Petty. So who would you choose? You get one more show to see of all the bands you worked with. Who would you pick?
The obvious one would be McCartney, but he just came through town, and I didn't go down there simply because I was offered the chance, but I just didn't feel like going down and standing in a big crowd and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and also I've seen McCartney before, and he's getting on in years, and it's great to see a Beatle, but it's the mild show.
With boats.
Yeah. But I would like to see Ringo and his all-star band, because it's always, Ringo is there and he's playing, but he brings in the most killer players, Lukather from Toto, the guy from Mr. just this Todd Rundgren, and all these people are just honored to play with him. And they put out and do each of their own individual things. So you get a real wide dichotomy of music going on at a Ringo show.
Paul McCartney needs more friends.
Well, and I wouldn't turn down a ticket to either one of them, but it's just that one, when I had the opportunity, I didn't take it. And it's not like I could wait until the next tour. I don't think he's going to be around that much longer, but I hope he is. And I love fact. Yeah, I love the fact that these artists who are over 80 years of age are still out there playing.
That's great.
Because even though they're not spring chickens anymore, 9 times out of 10 they still sound great, and they're allowing you to relive the energy that you had way back then. Maybe
Paul McCartney brings Lovebites on the stage with him.
Yeah,
give him new life.
Yeah.
No,
man, I can't say it.
Yeah, Rocko. All right, let's jump into another video. I'm going to try something different with you. It's a program called The First Take. We've never checked it out before.
Okay.
But I did this video. I liked it. And why I think that would be fun is that is stripped down. There is nothing going on. There's no effects. You're going to get to see them play. You're going to get to see everything. It's a band or a couple guys from a band called Domoto. And I don't know anything about them, so don't ask me too many questions. But I watched it. I thought it was very good. So we'll jump into that.
You know what country they're from?
I believe they're Japanese. I believe
they're Asian, as opposed to American.
Yeah, they're not American.
Okay.
All right. Okay, let's jump into that. You can let me know what you think.
Very good.
Hey, the podcast is over. What are you still doing here? Well, while you're here, like and subscribe. Thanks.